drug references and some violence.
Hello there, my name's Jarvis, and I've come all the way from the UK to Australia to share some videos with you. So what I would suggest, it's late at night, I would say go and get some kind of corn snack or crisps or whatever, fill a bowl of those, get some drinks, get yourself comfortable on the couch and prepare to spend the next couple of hours with me watching some of my favourite videos.
Wild child.
I hope you've got all your supplies in. We're going to start off now. Obviously, I'm here in Australia, so I thought I'd start off with an Australian group, ACDC, probably one of the best rock groups in the world, if not the best rock group, still working now. And this is one of their songs, it's a favourite of mine. I've not seen this video. Somebody tells me it's got dirty bits in it, but we're adults. It's post-Watershed, so what's a few dirty bits amongst friends? Let's watch them now. As appropriate, they prepare to shake us all night long. You shook me all night long. I'm going to shake you all night long. Come on, let's shake together. I like women who are, you know, quite strong and quite forceful. I don't like them to be violent towards me. The reason I'm even mentioning this to you, although I think we're getting to know each other as the night goes on, but the reason I mentioned that to you is because the next video we're going to watch is by a group called the Violent Femmes, who actually, were blokes. And I've never actually seen this band, I've never seen this video either, but this song had a big influence on me when I was a kid, when I'd first started the band Pulp Off, when I was at school, and I used to listen to the John Peel radio show in England. John Peel, I'm sure you've heard of, very influential DJ who, for me and for a lot of people in my generation, I suppose, provided us with a musical education. And he used to play the Violent Femmes quite a lot on his show. And this particular song is called Gone Daddy Gone. And I think when Pulp had first started out, before we'd even played any concerts, we actually were very proud because we managed to learn how to play this song. And we nicked... because it's got kind of a, I always forget whether it's a xylophone or a glockenspiel. Xylophone. Xylophone's the wooden one. It's got a xylophone on it, which you don't hear enough in rock music, I think. And we managed to nick one from school and learnt to play the riff for this song. And anyway, have a listen to it, see what you think about it. It's weathered well, I think. When I was growing up and getting into music, one of my favourite bands was a band I'm going to show you a video by next, Devo. And, you know, they wore kind of boiler suits and they seemed to have theories on evolution and the way that we were all going backwards because, you know, it was no longer survival of the fittest and all this kind of thing, which, you know, for me as a teenage boy, it seemed quite interesting, you know, that somebody would write songs that weren't just about wanting to go out with girls and things like that. And I saw them. They played in Sheffield, my hometown in England, a couple of times, and very interesting live. At that time, you know, you never really used to see bands who would have films playing and all stuff like that. So they seemed very exotic and strange. And this is a video for a song that I suppose isn't that well known by them, called The Day My Baby Gave Me a Surprise, which is from their second album, if I remember correctly, called Duty Now for the Future. I'd recommend it if you see it in a second-hand record shop or anything like that. Have a listen to it, and yeah, enjoy it now. Devo, The Day My Baby Gave Me a Surprise. Right, we're going to watch a video by a group called Addin X next. They don't exist anymore now. It's a shame, really, because I did actually know this group. We had kind of mutual friends in London, and they're a very strange bunch of people. Like they ended up all recording their songs separately, even though they were in a group. They all got on with each other so badly that they would they had to go in and do their own songs, and then I don't know how it really worked. Eventually they would meet up and then put them all on one record, and a very strange way to do things, but they did actually come up with good stuff. And this is, if it's a song I'm thinking of, this has got kind of a bit of a glam type of thing going on in it, and a lot of people have kind of ripped that off since, you know. Stand Up and Be Counted, Kasabian, you've ripped it off. And Stand Up and Be Counted, who's the short one with the fluffy hair, looks like Crystal Tips and Alistair. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, is she, what's she called now? Alison Goldfrapp, that's it. Yeah, rip off. I've been playing a lot of old stuff for you this evening, you know, because, let's face it, I am old, so that's kind of inevitable. But I do listen to modern music. I want you to know that I'm still on the bleeding edge of what's going on in contemporary music today. And a group that I like a lot, that are making records and are under the age of 30, is CSS. And the Fools, they even asked me to sing a song with them quite recently, which actually went quite well. But I think this is their latest single. It's called Off the Hook. I just think their songs are good. They're very straightforward. I like to see girls playing instruments, and you know, and they're just, there's no kind of messing about. It's just straightforward. They're having a laugh. I love it. Love it with me. Right, I think it's time for us to get a bit kind of, yeah. If you understand what I'm saying, we're kind of like, maybe I should just introduce a song. It's Regulate by Warren G, and this reminds me of a particular time in my life. I think it was when I was with the group Pulp and we were trying to do our different class record, and Steve, our bass player, who still works with me now, was trying to widen my musical horizons and played me Warren G's album. And it's got that kind of very low bass and then a kind of high thing, and somehow it makes you feel, as soon as you hear it, you're kind of driving a car, hopefully not getting shot at. I don't know, I've never really been to Miami, but somehow I feel that I'm in Miami and I'm driving and there's some palm trees going past. So let's get into that kind of vibe now. Maybe open the window, let a bit of a breeze in, and let's ride with Warren G. And this is Regulate.
It was a clear black.
Hi, welcome back. This next video, now, this is a bit dodgy really, because I think I know what this video is. It's by a group called Vanilla Fudge. You might not be that familiar with them. There's not actually that much reason to be that familiar with them, because they're actually not very good. Now you might say to yourself, well, what's he doing putting groups on here that aren't that good? But I think if this is the video that I'm thinking of, it's certainly the song that I'm thinking of, You Keep Me Hanging On, the Diana Ross and the Supremes classic, which is kind of murdered a bit here by being given a kind of very overblown kind of psychedelic treatment. And if it's the performance I'm thinking of, it's from taken from the Ed Sullivan Show. The thing with this group is that there's no lookers in the group. The camera keeps moving from one to the other, but they're all looking a bit of a mess. And it's a very, as I say, it's a very good song. You know, Diana Ross's original version of it is fantastic. And this is a kind of an object lesson in how to murder a song and do a very, very inappropriate version of it. So this is more in the spirit of maybe like a public information film for any of you who are in bands or thinking of being in bands or whatever out there. This is kind of what not to do, how not to cover a song. Just kind of a cautionary tale in music video form. Let's all watch it and be educated by it right now. Hello, my name's Jarvis Cocker, and just to remind you, in case you've forgotten, you're watching Rage. I guess rock music has existed for a long time now, and some of the people who make it are getting older. And one thing that happened this year, don't know if it was celebrated here in Australia, was that David Bowie was 60 earlier on this year. And I didn't send him a card. I would have done, but I don't know his address. But I think the thing is with Bowie, you know, it's easy to forget how many great songs he's done and what a massive influence he was, you know, especially in Britain on so many bands. And, you know, at one particular time, say from 72 up to the end of the 70s, there was no one on a level with him. He was writing really great pop songs, but they were very interesting and some of them quite strange. But he also was involved in lots of other things and other areas of the arts, but managed to do it without it being too pretentious. And I think there isn't really anybody around like him anymore. And this is a song, I think it's off the album Low, which I think is my favourite album by him. And it's called Be My Wife. And yeah, you know, think of Dave and drink a drink to him in celebration of his getting into his 60th year. Don't retire yet, David. Hello there, my name's Jarvis Cocker. I'm just here to tell you that you are watching Rage.
This is the result.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy sounds for you there from the Jimi Hendrix Experience. What a sensational noise, more psychedelic stuff.
Now, there's some groups, of course, that you can't really count the number of bands that they've kind of influenced. And I suppose one of those bands is the Velvet Underground. We're going to watch a video by them next. I'm not sure exactly what this video contains, because obviously at the time when the Velvet Underground were existing, people didn't make pop promos and stuff, so I don't know whether it's people wandering around. I hope it's not kind of too modern. The song is Venus in Furs, so I also hope they don't interpret it too literally, although that might be interesting, quite exciting in a way. I hope it doesn't involve a car, because I seem to think that this song also got hijacked for a car commercial not that long ago, which is kind of evil, I suppose. But anyway, all that can't take away from the fact that it's a very great song and kind of a weird song with all the violin and the piano stuff going on in it. Maybe get naked and lie on a fur rug and listen now, luxuriating the sound of the Velvet Underground playing Venus in Furs. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the last couple of hours watching these videos, sharing these musical moments with me. I've certainly enjoyed it. How to finish something like that? Well, I think we should go out in a very dignified, very tasteful way with probably one of the most ridiculous videos ever made and one of the most ridiculous songs. I mean, it goes on forever. The video goes on forever. It's got just about every kind of rock video cliche you can imagine, but somehow it all works. There's something quite great about it. So let's watch Guns N' Roses, November Rain. Thank you very, very much for sharing this time with me. Hope I've not kept you up too late and you're not going to be awake for work tomorrow. And let's do it again soon. Good night. Hello, my name's Jarvis Cocker, and just to remind you, in case you've forgotten, you're watching Rage.